Have you ever wondered about the profound essence of meditation beyond the conventional notions? It extends beyond the mere act of sitting in stillness. Instead, it offers a gateway to unlocking the depths of your old and new self. The term meditation itself implies a journey of familiarization, a process to acquaint oneself intimately with the intricacies of one's being. Amidst the chaos of modern life, meditation is the quiet revolution, inviting us to unplug and journey inward. It's not just a trend. It's a timeless art form, a dance of mindfulness that tunes us into inner peace amid life's noise. Picture it as a mental gym, where each breath builds resilience and focus. It's the rebellion of reclaiming mental sovereignty in a world clamoring for attention. Meditation is universal, transcending borders, offering a pause for self-discovery and revelation. In this sacred space, stresses fade, and a more mindful mind emerges. It's not about escaping, but turning inward to sculpt a calmer, more focused self. So, in a world drowning in noise, let meditation guide you to the quiet within, where the symphony of your existence plays its most enchanting tunes. In this transformative odyssey, we embark on a quest to decipher the language of our internal landscape. It involves a deliberate slowing down of our brainwaves, a meticulous dance to transcend the confines of our analytical mind. Meditation becomes an art, a practice that instructs our body to harmonize with this deliberate slowing, unveiling a formula that simplifies the path for eager minds. Mastery in meditation, like any skill, comes with persistent practice. Delving further, breaking through the analytical mind serves as a powerful means to reprogram ourselves. It is a departure from the habitual patterns, a transcendence into uncharted territories of consciousness. In essence, meditation becomes a profound mechanism for self-refinement, enabling us to sculpt our own narrative. Yet, the journey doesn't cease here. Meditation, at its core, beckons us to detach from our physical vessel, disconnect from the immediate environment, and liberate ourselves from the shackles of time. In this suspension, in the eye of the needle, lies the crucible for the most remarkable metamorphoses. This transformative process is not arbitrary. It is driven by data, by understanding the intricate symphony of our brains. Observing the consistent response of brains to meditation provides a tangible roadmap for effective teaching. It transcends the mystical and embraces the empirical, utilizing science as the contemporary language to demystify the profound. Understanding the why behind meditation is as crucial as the how. It eradicates superstitions, dogmas, and unnecessary conjectures. Science becomes the beacon, illuminating the path to self-discovery. Yet meditation is not merely a mental exercise. It is an orchestration of change at the genetic level. Recent genetic research reveals the malleability of our genes, dispelling the notion of a predetermined genetic destiny. Genes, like our brains, are responsive to experiences, growth, healing, and learning. The field of epigenetics emerges as a revolutionary departure from the outdated genetic determinism. It explores how our environment orchestrates the dance of gene activity, challenging the notion that DNA is the sole architect of our fate. This paradigm shift liberates us from the deterministic ghost in the machine, offering a future where transformation unfolds before our eyes. In this grand tapestry of meditation, science, and genetic exploration, we find ourselves at the nexus of profound change. Through understanding, practice, and a departure from conventional dogmas, we open the door to a realm where transformation is not a distant dream, but a tangible reality unfolding right before our eyes. Have you ever pondered the intricacies of epigenetic changes in DNA expression and their ripple effects across generations? The mystery lies in the paradox of an unchanging DNA code seemingly transmitting alterations to future progenies. Imagine your genetic sequence as a blueprint for a house, a static framework waiting to be transformed. Picture scanning this blueprint into a computer, where the magic of Photoshop allows you to manipulate its appearance without altering the original structure. In this metaphorical realm, modifying characteristics like color, size, scale, dimensions, and materials becomes feasible, resulting in diverse images stemming from the same foundational blueprint. Thousands of environmental variables, akin to diverse human experiences, can produce distinct expressions, all emanating from the unaltered DNA code. Epigenetics invites us to transcend conventional thinking about change. It orchestrates a paradigm shift, granting us the autonomy to activate our gene activity and reshape our genetic destiny. This newfound freedom parallels the power of altering a gene's expression, metaphorically referred to as turning it on. While genes don't physically toggle on or off, they respond to chemical signals, expressing themselves in specific ways through protein synthesis. Consider the analogy of modifying thoughts, feelings, emotional reactions, and behaviors as using Photoshop on the genetic blueprint. By making healthier lifestyle choices, nutrition, stress management, and more, we send novel signals to our cells, prompting the expression of new proteins without altering the fundamental DNA code. The key lies in recognizing that, despite the code's constancy, a cell, once activated differently, can generate myriad variations of the same gene. Just as certain brain regions possess inherent rigidity, while others exhibit plasticity influenced by learning and experience, genes mirror a similar duality. Some genetic sequences easily respond to activation, while others are more entrenched, reflecting a longer evolutionary history. This implies that certain genes are more adaptable, susceptible to transformation, while others resist change due to their deep-rooted genetic heritage. At least, that's the prevailing scientific understanding. The question then arises, how do we dictate which genes remain active and which stay dormant? The answer lies in the choices we make and the emotional states we inhabit. Persisting in toxic states of anger, melancholy, vigilance, or unworthiness perpetuates redundant chemical signals, consistently pressing the same genetic buttons. This continuous activation, in turn, becomes a catalyst for various diseases. Stressful emotions, as it turns out, function as genetic triggers, disrupting the DICE regulation, the intricate physiological regulatory mechanisms, and laying the groundwork for the emergence of diseases. The narrative unfolds not as a deterministic script, but as a dynamic interplay between our choices, emotions, and the intricate dance of our genes. In this symphony of genetics and experience, we find ourselves not as passive observers but as active participants, capable of signaling our genes to rewrite the script of our future. Have you ever contemplated the intricate dance between our thoughts, emotions, and the very fabric of our being? When our mental and emotional landscapes remain static for extended periods, etching familiar states of being into our memory, a cascade of consequences unfolds at the genetic level. Our internal chemical state persistently activates the same genes, resulting in the production of identical proteins. However, the body, much like a finely tuned machine, cannot indefinitely adapt to these repetitive demands. Over the course of a decade or two, the genes begin to wear out, manufacturing proteins of lesser quality. Consider the aging process as a tangible example. As we age, our skin loses its tautness, a manifestation of collagen and elastin fibers gradually being composed of inferior proteins. Similarly, our muscles atrophy, driven by the degradation of proteins such as actin and myosin. An analogy emerges in the manufacturing world. When a metal part for a car is produced using a die or mold, each iteration of its use subjects the mold to wear and tear from various forces, eventually resulting in the production of ill-fitting components. Analogously, the body succumbs to stress or a persistent emotional state, causing the DNA responsible for protein production to malfunction. The implications of this genetic wear and tear become more pronounced when we examine the impact of routine and familiarity on our genetic destiny. If we remain entrenched in familiar conditions, perpetuating the same emotional reactions by engaging in repetitive actions, maintaining identical thought patterns, and interacting with the same people, we inadvertently steer ourselves toward an undesirable genetic fate. In essence, we become ensnared in the same patterns as our predecessors, facing comparable challenges. The crux of the matter lies in the repetition of emotional memories from the past. If we merely relive these memories, our journey becomes predictable, and our bodies recreate the genetic conditions encountered by previous generations. It's a cyclical dance, where the body perpetuates the same genetic expressions as long as our emotional state remains unaltered day in and day out. Consider the profound question posed by science. If it is the environment that signals the genes involved in evolution, what happens when our environment remains static? What if we have etched the same conditions into our outer world, living by identical thoughts, behaviors, and feelings? If everything in our lives remains unchanged, the chemical signals reaching our genes stagnate. The quantum model steps in, asserting that we possess the power to emotionally signal the body, initiating a chain of genetic events without necessitating a corresponding physical experience. In this intricate interplay between our internal world and the quantum fabric of our genes, the narrative unfolds beyond mere predictability. It challenges us to break free from the shackles of routine, inviting us to explore the vast realm of possibilities that lie beyond the familiar, ultimately empowering us to sculpt a genetic destiny unbound by the limitations of the past. The idea that we don't need external victories, be it a race, a lottery windfall, or a coveted promotion, to trigger profound emotions is a revelation in itself. It beckons us to explore the realm where the mind, in its sheer capacity, can conjure joy and gratitude independent of external circumstances. The key lies in the profound interplay between our thoughts and the environment, a dance where we can immerse ourselves so deeply in the emotional landscape that our bodies begin to believe in the reality of the envisioned event. This goes beyond wishful thinking. It's a potent tool to signal our genes, urging them to craft new proteins and initiate transformative changes in our bodies ahead of the present environment. However, with this power comes a monumental responsibility, particularly for those committed to the pursuit of change and self-creation. It's a responsibility that transcends external events and underscores our fundamental role as architects of our reality. The audience in the auditorium, as an analogy for life, willingly acknowledges this responsibility. No one forced them to be there. They chose the risk and accepted the mantle of creating their own reality. Yet, the challenge arises when faced with adversity. The critical question looms large. At what point do we relinquish the belief that we create our lives? When faced with challenges, do we succumb to the temptation of external blame? The journey toward true self-creation demands a vigilant awareness of our reactions to environmental conditions. The familiar emotions, often rooted in the past, act as a barometer, signaling our unconscious descent into patterns we've committed to transcend. The art of self-creation requires a disciplined approach, a daily practice where meditation serves as the preparation of mind and body. The call is not to rise from meditation until a genuine love for life is cultivated, until one feels limitless. It's a deliberate process of conditioning emotions, ensuring that the mind is primed to align with the vision of the future. This journey is not a passive exercise. It demands an active engagement with emotions and a meticulous exploration of the self. Closing our eyes and sitting still in meditation is a deliberate act, a resistance to the seductive lure of the environment. It's an assertion to the body. Stay, resist the urge for immediate gratification, and allow the mind to guide the way. The practice involves connecting with the emotions of the future, stepping out of the bleachers and onto the field of active engagement with life. It's about cultivating a mindset that transcends mere reaction to circumstances. The true test lies in one's ability to create emotions authentically, a skill honed through consistent practice. As the day unfolds, the conditioned mind inevitably encounters unconscious thoughts, a moment of reckoning where the practiced individual confronts those thoughts consciously. The breaking down of old personality structures is a deliberate act, suppressing circuits that no longer serve the evolving self. An illuminating example emerges from a study in Japan, where individuals with type 2 diabetes witnessed a transformation in gene expressions simply by watching a comedy show. Laughter, a manifestation of a joyful state of mind, triggered new signals to their cells, altering 23 different gene expressions. The internal chemistry shifted, demonstrating the profound influence of emotions on genetic expression. This study underscores the dynamic nature of genetic expression, where emotions can turn on or off specific gene sequences. The power of emotional embrace before an event manifests physically is underscored by the ability to alter internal chemistry and influence genetic expressions. Consider the intriguing phenomenon of individuals experiencing dramatic hair color changes overnight due to extreme stress. This vivid example illustrates the rapidity with which genetic expressions can adapt to intense emotional reactions, signaling new genes in response to altered internal environments. The potential for genetic transformation lies in the repetition of emotionally embracing future events, envisioning and feeling them before their physical manifestation. The daily practice becomes a potent tool, conditioning the body to a new mind, signaling genes in unprecedented ways. The quantum field, teeming with potentials, beckons us to pluck a desired reality and emotionally embrace it before it crystallizes into existence. In this dance between thought, emotion, and genetics, the journey of self-creation unfolds not as a distant dream, but as a tangible reality. Through disciplined practice, conscious confrontation of unconscious thoughts, and the deliberate cultivation of emotions, one has the potential to shape and mold the brain and body into a new expression, physically changing before the desired reality materializes. The canvas of self-creation awaits the bold strokes of those who dare to venture beyond the known, shaping a destiny that transcends the limitations of the past.